Hello everyone and welcome to Infinite Realms. This is me again, running down another 10 movies that Rotten Tomatoes says are rotten, I think are at least worth a watch. Some of these surprised me, really did. The more I kept looking, I was like going, whoa, there's a lot of movies I like that, are on this list, like this one, Blade 2. Now, is it me or didn't people call this the best of the Blade movies? I thought they did. It's 58% on the tomato meter, 68% on the audience score. So it's kind of fresh on the audience score. And critics consent. I'm doing that again. This time I'm just going to say critics say. Though Blade 2 offers more of what worked in the original, I remember that one was rotten too. So apparently it didn't work enough. The plot and character development appear to have been left on the cutting room floor. What? These guys kill me. Rotten Tomatoes kills me, man. It really does. So, moving along, this one was a surprise. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I thought this one was well received. I haven't watched it in a long time. I thought it was at least as well received as one. 47% on the tomato meter, 57% on the audience score, which, again, surprise. So, Eddie Murphy remains appealing and wisecracking Axel Foley, but Beverly Hills Cop 2 doesn't take him or the viewer anywhere new enough to justify a sequel. I mean, it was a tough idea to do a sequel. I thought 3 was the one that was really bad. I thought everybody liked 2. I was really shocked by this. This surprised me a lot. Alright, so next up is The Last Castle. Now, this was a movie I really liked. And I don't like, this is not the type of movie I would normally like. It's Robert Redford as a general in prison, and he does a great job in it. I really enjoyed it. The ending was really a surprise. It's like, when I saw this, I was like, wait, that movie was cool. And so the critics say The Last Castle is well acted and rousing for the most part, but the story can't stand up to close scrutiny. I don't remember this. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, and I'll give you, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but look at that audience score, 74%, which is where I would, if you would ask me, I would have said that's probably around where this movie would have landed. So next up is The Gift. Sam Raimi, guys. Okay, now some people hate Sam Raimi. I get you, but when he's on, and I always made the joke this is one of Keanu Reeves' best roles because he has 2 lines, and he's pretty much a asshole. But it's I always thought this was a really good movie. It was different. It was odd. 57% and then 55% audience score. Really, people don't like The Gift. Because, that's one of those movies I have shown people throughout the years. And it's like, you ever hear The Gift? No, I never heard of that. Oh, wow, that was a cool movie, And then, so, I don't, this one threw me off because it was pretty high on my list of good movies. And, so, critics say, with a reported budget of around $10 million, The Gift obviously is a labor of love for those involved. Unfortunately, an A-list cast can't prevent the movie becoming by the numbers whodunit. In the ending, that's all but unsatisfactory. I don't know what to say about that. I thought it was pretty daggone good. The only scene that bugged me a little bit was when Cate Blanchett and Greg Kinnear are talking by the fence, and then there's a moon in the background, and it looks like the moon had Evil Dead. I almost thought Raimi might have put that in as a joke, and with Raimi, I would accept that all day long. So, I don't know. I'm lost. Totally lost here. Next up, Mars Attacks, which I thought people loved. I thought people loved this movie. I thought they thought it was a really nifty comedy, and 55% tomato meter and audience score 53%. What the heck? I remember it being fun, and I remember people's reaction to it being fun. What happened? I don't know. Tim Burton's Alien Invasion spoof is faithfully recreates the wooden characters and schlocky story of the cheesy 1950s sci-fi and Ed Wood movies, which it was supposed to do, but perhaps too little faithfully for audiences. Eh. Again, what critics say throws me. Okay, in The Mouth of Madness, this one didn't surprise me too much, except for the fact it is John Carpenter. And to me, this is the last really good John Carpenter movie. I think it's one that's underappreciated in the pantheon of John Carpenter movies. Now, we can talk all day about things that happen with John Carpenter in his movies, but this one I thought was pretty good. It's pretty insane and pretty intense. It takes a bit to get going, but once it goes, it's like, whoa. So, here's what the critics say. If it fails to make the most out of an intriguing premise, In the Mouth of Madness remains decent enough diversion for horror fans and John Carpenter completists. I'm not a John Carpenter completist. I just thought it was a good movie. Again, I don't, Wes Craven said, the thing about horror is it doesn't get a lot of respect because you're trying to get people to feel something they don't want to feel. And that's true to a point. But sometimes horror does things really good. I thought this movie did it, and apparently no. But look at that audience score, 73%. So maybe some people did. Okay, this next one, A Million Ways to Die in the West. I didn't think this was a great movie, but I thought it was funny. It was a good chuckle. There's funny scenes in it. I would not, put it on the highest recommendation list, but I would say, yeah, give it a watch. It has enough bits in it to keep you entertained, and it's a decent enough movie. I'll offer a few laughs and boast talented cast. Seth MacFarlane's overlong, aimless Million Ways to Die in the West is a disappointingly scattershot affair. Didn't think so. I don't agree. That's all I can say. I don't agree. But 33% on the tomato meter, 41% on the audience score. Maybe I'm not understanding something. I just thought it was a funny movie. Not the best. It's not Blazing Saddles. No, not by a long shot. It's a movie that if I find sometimes when I'm wanting to watch something on TV, if it's on a streaming service or something, I'll watch it. I thought it was decent, but what do I know? Now, next up, this surprised the hell out of me. Flatliners, the original with Kiefer Sutherland and Kevin Bacon and Julia Roberts. I always thought this was a good movie. It's kind of tries to be a horror movie, but it really doesn't work too well as a horror movie. But it's got horror elements in it. And, it's just about a bunch of guys playing around with, bringing people back to life, and the lot further back they go. How long can you stay under kind of thing. It's really kind of messed up, but you kind of get it, too. What the critics say, while it boasts an impressive cast, striking visuals, and an effective mood, Flatliners it never quite jolts its story into life. I don't understand what that means. I thought it was a good enough movie. I watched it again recently after the remake. I watched the remake and I was like, oh god, this is terrible. Then I rewatched the original. I was like, okay, this was better than I remember it. So I don't know. 49% tomato meter, 59% score on the audience score. Maybe I'm missing something. That's kind of borderline, but still, it's So next up, again, another movie that surprised me. I thought people really liked this movie. I've always liked this movie. I haven't watched it in several years, but several years ago I did watch it again. I thought it was a good movie. Flashdance. 36% on the tomato meter. I can remember way back in the day, Siskel and Ebert said this was a good movie. Audience score 61%. Well, gee, there's a disparaging number. Wonder why? I mean, again, I would have thought it would have been higher with audience score too, though, to be perfectly honest. Critics say all style and very little substance. Flashdance boasts eye-catching dance sequences and benefits from an appealing performance from Jennifer Beals. But its narrative is flat-footed. Now, again, I haven't seen it in a few years, but what I remember is I thought it was a little slower the last time I saw it than what I remember. And, I don't know. I don't understand exactly any of that score whatsoever. I thought it was a decent enough movie, but well, whatever. Okay, last but not least, I have always thought this movie was underrated. And this almost confirms my suspicion. Hook. Now, by reviews, 29%. I remember this movie getting torn apart in the theaters when it came out in the theaters. I was always a big fan of Robin Williams. And I saw this movie. The first time I saw it, I was like going, come on. I got older, and when I started raising a family and everything, I went back to this movie and I went, oh, this is what I missed. Now I understand. Now, with that, look at that audience score. 76%. More than half, more than double the audience said, no, you're wrong. So, again, something going on there. And I don't think it got review bombed into a positive rating because it's Hook. Who cares? I liked this movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought Dustin Hoffman's portrayal of Hook was pretty awesome. What do I know? The look of Hook is lively indeed, but Steven Spielberg directs on autopilot here, giving in too quickly to the sentimental, syrupy qualities. Because, sentimental, syrupy qualities. That makes sense. Yeah. This one I just think, I think it's one of those movies that people need to go back to and take another look at, because there's something to be said about the kid in you, and there's some really good parts of that in this movie. I did like it. I love when the little kid pulls Robin Williams' face back, and he goes, "Oh, Peter, there you are." I just always thought that was a nice little scene. I thought it was sweet. I mean, it's a sweet movie about being able to be a kid still. And I don't know. Maybe I am leaning into too much of the sentimental, syrupy quality. Or maybe people got old and became film critics and then start tearing down movies that are fun. Anyway, alright, those are 10 more movies that I thought should not be considered rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, I know the score is skewed. It doesn't work exactly right. But still, we're going to use this as a marketing ploy. We're going to talk about the times you're wrong. Or at least I think you're wrong. Let's face it. How many times do you hear certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes on a preview for a movie? Happens all the time. So, why shouldn't we talk about this when, movies are put down? Now, you don't have to agree with me here. Some of these movies are kind of niche, and they appeal to a certain type of fan, and I get that all day long. But, let me know in the comments, are there any movies you think Rotten Tomatoes says are rotten, that you think are pretty okay. I mean, they don't have to be Citizen Kane or anything like that, or Shawshank Redemption. But, yeah, I mean, they could still be good movies. So, let's let's taco about it. All right, that's Infinite Realms for now. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.